Hey guys, welcome back to this video. Now this video is about Proposition 22, which was introduced in California state of United States of America as the presidential elections were going on. Now, before I go ahead with this Proposition 22, let me give you a few examples which was quoted by a very famous author, Kenneth Arrow. Now, Kenneth Arrow talks about a paradox which that he propounded was the proponents of minority voice actually dictate the broader choice. What it means is, but I'll explain this to you with an example. Now, let's say there is an election. We have a candidate A and we have a candidate B. Candidate A wants a war against another country. Candidate B doesn't want a war against any other country. So you have a certain set of people supporting the candidate A who wants war, and then you have a certain set of people who are supporting candidate B who doesn't want a war. So most of the people within a country do not want war because the kind of implications it brings to the Indian economy, or sorry, not just the Indian economy, but any economy in the world, right? Whichever country is going out for war. So the minority people now start proposing or putting out social media posts out there and trying to influence the majority voters who do not want a war. Now, how is this done? Social media is utilized. Today, we are in a situation. We are in the time of the time of history where even smaller bits of pieces of information we're making quick decisions without any thinking much about it, right? So ancient scripture says that ancient scripture says that Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam has to be put in place whenever you're making a decision. Now, what does Shravanam mean? Shravanam means listen carefully. Now, that is the first step of before you take any decision, right? Listen carefully. Mananam means reflect what you heard. Reflect on whatever you heard. The third one is Nididhyasanam. Nididhyasanam means contemplate on whatever you heard, put through all the pieces of information that you've collected, and then finally take a decision. Now, this three things will take a lot of time, but today we are making decisions within few seconds of looking at a message. Right now, the same kind of thing has happened with this Proposition 22. Like I said, Proposition 22 was introduced in California state, which is a left-leaning state in United States, and this Proposition 22 was introduced by Uber and Lyft. Now, what the Uber and Lyft wants is all those people who are actually employed by Uber and Lyft as drivers, they want them to continue as contractors and not as full-time employees. Now, what happens if these kind of rights are taken away? They're not gonna get paid sick days. They're not going to get overtime pay. They will not get insurance. They will not get occupational safety or any of those benefits that the actual employees get. So this is the kind of thing that has happened. Now, why did we put forth the Kenneth paradox, or which is also called as Arrow's paradox? Because all those people who voted for this Proposition 22 actually did not take a look at the entire information or the entire thing that was put forth in the Proposition 22, because Uber and Lyft spent close to $200 million using marketing emails to get this Proposition 22 sail through without any discussion. Now, if this is happening in the United States, and especially in California state, without any deliberation, it can happen anywhere in the world. And hopefully, excuse me for that power cut, but let me complete it right here. So before a legislation is passed through, a good amount of contemplation and good amount of information has to be passed through, and this kind of social media gimmicks should not be influenced with your decision, right? So this is something that I wanted to put forth. Thank you so much.